Hello, Tom from BlackToad Studio here, and today I've got an 1850 point list of orcs to be played against Lawrence. He's come down from a club called Eastward Elemental to have a game, so make sure you check them out at some point. Nice little club if you're local to the area. Anyway, so let's have a look at what we bought in this list here. Gone a little away from what I've probably played in the past, just to try and move it around a bit. So HQ-wise, we've got our war boss up here. He's got a power claw and a shooter, and then obviously with him we have a pain boy, and he is also joined by 3 mega knobs, all with kill saws. Down here we have 6 killer cans in one big group, 2 Grotzukas, 1 Scorcher, 2 rocket launchers and 1 heavy shooter. So that's all them. Over here we have troop choices, which is 2 squads of boys, both exactly the same. The boss knob in each has got a power claw and a boss pole, and basically they have, I think it was 26 boys with them, and we have 2 big shooter upgrades in there. At the back over here we have a Morkanaut with custom force field, and everything else on there is stock. And then obviously up here we have a Blitzer bomber and a burner bomber. So let's see how that does. Okay, on, so what have you brought with you?
Alright, well, first of all, we have some Blight drones, because they are some of the best looking models.
Indeed, I have to agree with that, especially looking at these ones. So,
most of my army is based on best looking models.
Yes, so. Yes, as I can see. So moving over to the right here.
Yeah, we got some Plague Bearers,
yeah.
And then we got the Soul Grinder, because I needed some sort of ranged.
Range, yeah, it was always good for a demon army, isn't it? So yeah. Come back down to the front here.
This is the Khorne section, so we've got some Blood Crushers, because again they are some of the best models.
Yeah, lots of closing there as well, it's all good.
2 units of Bloodletters.
Okay. Big chap at the back here.
Yeah, so he is a Bloodthirster of Angry. I can't remember which one it is. The one with the D axe.
I think Bloodthirster of Angry is absolutely applicable in this case. That's fine. And then I'll carry on over this way.
And we got a big unit of Screamers. A bit again for a bit of anti-tank.
Good.
And then we have Fate Weaver. That's the new model. It's so nice it had to be included.
Yes, indeed. Looks very good. I'll come a bit closer on this one.
Yeah, it's what the demon mod. All the demon range at the moment are incredible. And yeah, he's no exception.
Right, and then in front of him, a few little buddies down there.
Yeah, so we got the last bit is 2 units of pink horrors, which are blue, because blue is better than pink.
Fantastic. Well, that's the full list there. So now we'll head on into the game. Okay, and here we are, all deployed. We are doing contact loss. So in the first turn, we'll start off with 1 objective, and then after that, we can only draw as many objectives as we actually control. So just to quickly go for the board down here, here are our objectives. We've got objective 5 down here. We've got 6 here, 4 there, and moving on to this side of the table over here, we have objective 2, 1, and I think number 3 is just hiding over here. And so we'll just have a quickly go over the battlefield here so you can see where everything is deployed. So obviously demons over on this side. Been quite intimidating, and over here all the orcs have deployed along this table edge here because we're in Dawn of War. Night fighting is currently on, and orcs are currently going first unless Lawrence steals the initiative. So I'm just quickly roll dice down here.
Oh, the power of Fate Weaver. Oh, he knew that would happen.
He knew that would happen, so he wanted to go second. So we'll now move on into Orcs turn 1 and see what happens. So at the start of turn 1 for Orcs, the objective I've drawn is more speed, go faster. So that is to get 3 units to go either turbos flat out or run 6 inches. So I'm sure we can achieve that. So we'll just go into the movement phase. Okay, so turn 1 movement for Orcs, and over here, as you can see, this boy squad has moved up. This cannon squad managed to move mighty 1 inches after going through terrain. Over here, the Meganauts have moved up, and also the Morkanaut has managed to crash through some terrain there. And finally over here, this squad has always moved up, or actually just moved up. We'll now move on to the shooting phase, which I anticipate a lot of running. Okay, so turn 1 shooting for Orcs, and as you can see here, it was mainly just running, no shooting at all. So this squad has run up, got quite a nice 4-inch run. This squad of cans got a 3-inch run. These guys got a 1-inch run, and over here, these two got 6s, which almost gave me hope that I might achieve my objective, but sadly not. However, Next turn should be amusing, as we should be quite close to our quarry. So that is the end of Orc turn 1, because I have no assaults to declare, obviously. So we'll now move on to Demons turn 1. So as we plough into Demons at turn 1 in the movement phase, we'll just have a look at the objectives that was drawn quickly first. So we've got the Glory of Khorne. So I think that's basically a challenge-based one. So we'll see if that can be achieved. However, in the actual phase over here, we have coming up here in front of the Morkanaut. The Plague Bearer is making a very deft move this way, very slowly. The Bloodthirster's jumped over to have a look at the Mega Knobs possibly, and the War Boss over there. Could be quite a scary combat. Some of the Bloodletters here have moved through, along with the Soul Grinder, more Bloodletters, Blight Drones there. And then over here, a whole wall of Tzeentch and Khorne moving up on this side of the table, along with Fate Weaver. So that's that. We'll now move on to the Psychic and Shooting phase and see what happens. So as we start turn 1 Psychic and Shooting for Chaos over here, we'll start with some of the Psychic powers that went off. So obviously Fate Weaver here, he got off Tzeentch's Warp Flare, Terrify and Psychic Shriek, all on this unit over here. It managed to kill off about 5 boys, I think, in the end. Terrified them. They luckily didn't run away because of mob rule, which kept them steady, otherwise they would have been almost off the board, possibly. So yeah, quite a nice little psychic phase. And also they had Warp Flame. However, they did fail their toughness test, so they just took another wound at the end of that. Elsewhere on the board, as we moved on to the shooting phase, there was a little bit of shooting over here from the Soul Grinder, who fired a nice template weapon over, or blast template over here, and managed to clip 3 of them, took a hull point off the front cannon and shook it, so he is currently sitting there a little bit stuck at the moment. And that is it for shooting. So now we'll move on to the assault phase, which I have a position will be taking place just about here. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so as we go into turn 1 assault for Demons down here, they had quite a good session. So they took a hull point off the Morkanaut here. Morkanaut hit back and missed with all attacks. However, on a different story over here, the Bloodthirster ran in, made a challenge. So I think he's completed his objective as well. Murdered them all, including the War Boss and the Pain Boy, because he got all those destroy hits off with his lovely weapon there. So that's me, lost my Warlord. Sad face. And a happy Lawrence. And then over here, obviously he's just consolidated slightly around there. And these drones here unfortunately failed their charge when charging into the kill cans. So that is the end of Demons turn 1. And at the end of that, they scored was it 1 point there, wasn't it? Yeah. 2. 2 points.
There's a Khorne thing killed.
Because a Khorne in combat. So really good score there. So we'll move on to Orcs turn 2. So turn 2 for the Orcs, and as you can see here, the flyers have turned up. I'll go through the bombs in a minute, just to let you know what I drew this turn. So we've got Objective 5 added on and more DACA. Anyway, the 2 flyers flew over the Demon Prince and dropped 2 bombs. 1 missed and 1 didn't actually wound. The Burner Bomber fired all of its weapons because it had a good bombing run and managed to wound with its super shooters. However, it was saved. Movement-wise, as we come over here, this Orc boy squad has moved around to get some revenge against the Bloodthirster over here. We'll see how that goes out in a minute. The kill cans have moved up, and these guys have moved to the fence because they're looking over that side of the fence and going, don't really like that. I'll let them come to us, maybe. bit trepidatious. So we'll see how that goes. So now we'll now move on into the shooting phase for the Orcs, and let's see what happens. So turn 2 shooting for the Orcs, and not the most successful of shooting phases. So these Orc boys here, the ones that could shoot, all fired up at the Demon Prince, Bloodthirster I should say. We managed to wound with a slugger, however it was saved. Disappointing. Down here, the boys here that could shot up at Fate Weaver. He didn't jink, funnily enough, and he didn't take any wounds either.
Such a risk taker.
Yeah, a risk taker. He saw the danger and thought, I'm just going to take it. Over here, however, the kill cans shot in at the drones and managed to take out 1, and that's it. So we'll now move on to some assault phase, and we will see what occurs. Right. So in turn 2 assault for the Orks here, and obviously we made our charge into the Bloodthirster here. However, we thought we'd, as I've managed to hit 6 times, so we're going to see if I can wound now. These are standard boys, so we're going to be needing some hefty numbers here. So let's have a look what we get. Got 1 wound, so
3 up save.
he actually takes a wound.
Dragged down by
So now this obviously leaves me with the boss knob.
2 left.
So he is going to be needing 5s again because of fear, unfortunately.
Failed the fear check.
And he hits twice, which is what's needed.
He's strength 9.
Yeah, strength 9.
He's 2.
So here we go. Oh, okay, he gets 1 through.
5 up save.
5 up save. No, so he's down to 1 wound.
On 1.
So that is not pretty. So I think we lost combat there.
Right, well I have the take a wound, whatever it is, the thing that means you take wounds when I take wounds.
Yes, the soul leech thing.
No, it's called something different.
Oh, it's something different. So the Bloodthirster has burning blood, so at the end of the combat he does cause some wounds to me. Is it, what's the exact rules on that, Ross?
Cause the wound, immediately suffers D3, strength 4, hits, AP 5 and no cover saves.
Okay, so we're going to have them rolled here as well and see what happens.
No, it's only 1 dice.
It's only 1 dice.
How many wounds?
There we go,
so
2 wounds.
That's strength 4, AP 5.
So I do get my heavy armor save.
Yeah.
So 1 wound, and he's 1 more dead.
Bonk.
So that's another dead.
And then he had also Soul Eater.
Yeah, so he can potentially gain some wounds back.
2+ he gets a wound back.
Which he does.
Woo!
So he is back up to 2 wounds. So in that combat we only managed to cause 1 wound.
Right,
So,
I won that.
so yeah, we Orks lost, so we're going to take a leadership.
Now, you lost by, so in the end,
I think it's 5 for loss.
For the...
I'm going to roll because I'm going to need probably quite low anyway, and that is not 9 is not going to pass. So I need to do mob check. So D6 it on a 4. So that was the D6.
No, D6 is 4 is squabble.
Squabble.
So
Yep.
if you have 10 or more models, which you do, you suffer D6 strength 4.
Yep. So 4, and we'll see what happens there. And just the 1 actually. So pardon me. And he's okay. So we didn't lose anyone. Still in combat. So at the end of that mighty combat, it was 1 wound to the Bloodthirster and me losing 5 boys, but somehow just about hanging in there. So that's that part of the combat. We'll now move on to the next. So as the Orks carry on in assault here, we are now doing the Morkanaut versus some Screamers. So let's see what happens. So over here we'll have the dice rolls for the Screamers, as I've got the initiative on me.
Yeah, so their weapons go 3, sorry. So I'm hitting
on 4s.
4s. Oh, good.
There's actually nothing here, so a complete contrast to the previous combat. So obviously the Morkanaut has 4 attacks, and he is hitting on 3s. And he hits with all but 1.
Uh-oh.
And he needs 2s to strength 10 AP 1. So that is 3 invulnerables for your...
so 5 up, re-rolling 1s.
And he's managed to save 2. Unbelievable. Anyway, so that's that. However, they do lose combat.
I do lose combat, so I need to do a instability test.
Yes, so let's see what happens here.
So, the leadership, rubbish. Oh
dear.
Super rubbish.
So at the end of that particular combat, it was 1.5 Screamers lost due to the instability test. And that draws to the end, Orks turn 2. Unfortunately, I have not managed to score any objectives because I did not manage to get anything while shooting, and my objective 5 is still unachieved because I am not close enough. So we'll now move on to the Demons turn 2. So at the start of turn 2 for Chaos, here's what's been drawn: Harness the Warp, Secure Objective 3, and Assassinate. And as we move on into the movement phase here, as you can see, most stuff's moved forward, so these Bloodlests have scooted up this way. The Soul Grinders jumped on top of terrain. This squad here has moved closer to try and save the Bloodthirster, because obviously you can't handle it, so that's fair enough. Obviously they're all in combat over here. And then in this particular section of the board, the drones have moved forward to engage the cans, and also Fate Weaver seems to be coming this way to possibly lend a hand with some psychic shenanigans. The Blood Crushers have made a charge forward, and the Orks are waiting behind the fence line there to try and receive the charge with as much strength as possible. And the 2 little horror squads here have moved up to claim the objective and also just to move up the board. So that is the end of the movement phase. We'll now move into the shooting and psychic phase, or psychic and shooting phase, and see what happens. So in the Psychic phase, turn 2 for Demons over here, Fate Weaver put Terrify onto this Orc squad here, which actually went off, didn't try to deny it, and then Psychic Shriek Tiss as well, which we managed to deny, which is good. Also, Prescience was cast onto this pink horror squad here.
No.
Oh no, actually, sorry, on the Juggernauts, pardon me. Yep. So they're going to be quite handy in combat now, I have a suspicion. As we move into shooting over here, this Soul Grinder fired down its pie plate onto the cans again and didn't manage to do anything due to a nice 6-up save. And there was a few runs, I think this squad of Bloodletters ran, and also this horror squad ran. That one stayed put, didn't it? So yeah. That's that. So that's that. We'll now move. Oh no, sorry, pardon me. And over here, these guys are running into that button there. So we now move on to the assault phase. Turn to Demons assault phase, and we'll just film you a bit here. So essentially, all the Orcs have gone now, and they caused a massive 2 wounds on the Bloodletters. And then here's the result of the saves that are rolled. Double 5s. Woo! So essentially, I've lost a lot to the Bloodthirster.
You haven't done your attacks on the Bloodthirster.
And I haven't done my attacks on the Bloodthirster. So I think we've got, I think there's 2 boys there.
There are.
So I've got 3 attacks from one of them and 2 from one.
Oh,
so, yes. I managed to hit once. And we didn't win. So, sad face. So, now we'll move on to the Bloodletters, who are going to pound their attacks out. So, I'm just going to come around here and we'll see what they do.
The Bloodletters went last because they went through terrain.
Yes. So, here comes the attacks for the Bloodletters on the Orcs.
Hit on 3s.
Oh dear, this doesn't look good.
So no, there's quite a lot of 1s in there.
Quite a lot of 6s as well.
Really? Decapitating. Right, and then there's strength 4 on the charge. Oh, maybe there's strength 5 on the charge.
I think there might be 5 actually.
There's strength 5 on the
There's
charge,
strength 5
so
on
I
the
need 3s.
Oh,
that was cack. Oh my.
If I just grab them up and I'll do another AP3. So that is actually 5 dead.
5 dead.
So that doesn't look good for the Orcs, so we're just going to leash it now, because obviously I think I'm going to need double 1s here.
So the Bloodthirster did...
We did 5, and then, yeah, it needs to be double 1s.
Yeah.
So, which we don't get. We're not over 10... No, we are still...
Yeah,
we are.
Still get a mob check anyway.
So we'll do a mob check and a 5 this time.
Squabble. So, is there 10 or more models? I think there are.
So because I didn't have enough models in there after all the attacks have been added up and deaths, we are now running away. So we're going to run away 10 inches, but we'll do initiative off, which is a 1.
Right, well the Bloodthirster's initiative is 9.
So I think I failed already.
Yeah, he really doesn't
so
like you.
They are all dead, so that optimistic combat has turned into a complete and utter farce for the Orcs. So that's the end of that particular combat. We will now move over to the Morkanaut again, because he's feeling optimistic at least. And we'll see what happens down here. So I think the Screamers are going first again.
Oh, 3 left. Right, here we go then. Hitting on 4s. Yay, so got a hit. Right, I'm using
the Melter weapon, yeah.
So, strength 5 with Armour Bane.
No.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nada.
And then back up to the 4 attacks for the Morka. He's hit twice.
Yep.
And needing 2s. He's got a 1 again.
Right,
so
will you give him a good cuddle?
He's got a save.
Oh
What is going on here? But anyway, the demon saves are well and truly paying for themselves today. So we've got one more combat over here. So we're just going to get that ready, and then we'll come back to the... oh, yeah, sorry, we've got 2 more actually. Sorry, yeah, we've got the kill cans down here and this there. So we're just going to get that sorted out, and we'll come back and do a bit more. So during the killer can combat here, it looked to be going quite well for the can to start with us. They killed one of them in their combat. However, the return fire or hitting from the to result in 4 6s when doing his armor penetration, so causing 2 cans to die. So in fact, actually, I lost by 1. So I now need to do a leash it.
The bravery thing.
And that doesn't look good.
No.
So we're now going to roll the test, see if they stay. Get +1 for this, so it's on a 4, so we are okay. They're staying in combat. Nothing happens. Okay, how did obviously discussing that they lost 2, which is just very sad. So we'll now move on to the Juggernaut combat. So during that Juggernaut combat, although the Orcs did very well in getting 7 wounds on them, the remaining 2 Blood Crushers managed to actually get 8 wounds back. So we managed to win combat by 1. We broke, but we actually got our squabble, so didn't lose any to that. So that's basically still locked in combat. So at the end of that, we are now looking at the scores for this turn. So moving over here, I think we had Assassinate, which was achieved. and harness the warp, which was also achieved, and also objective.
So I rolled a 2.
3.
Because I did 3 for harness. I rolled a.
You got
I rolled a 3, which is 2.
So you got 1 for it anyway, which is so that's not too bad. So that's the end of turn 2 for Chaos. Can the Orcs pull a bit of pride back in turn 3? We shall see. So at the start of turn 3 for the Orcs, we drew behind enemy lines, and then the planes have done their movement, because that's all that can move at the moment, because everything else is currently locked in combat. Had a pretty good bombing phase from the Blitzer bomber, who flew over the Soul Grinder, dropped its big bomb, got the Iron Bane off, got a 6 on the explosion chart, so 7, because AP2, blew up and then took out, was it 5 blood? 4 bloodletters as well, so not bad. So you can't really complain about that. So we'll now move on into the shooting phase. So we're just the 2 flyers here with what they can shoot, and we'll see what happens. And down here in the shooting phase, the guns all opened up on the horrors, and some scorching missiles went down on the horrors, and we killed 2. Or was it 3?
2.
I think it was 2. We killed 2. So not really very good. But hey ho, we'll now move on to the anticipated assault phase and see if the Orcs can survive until their next turn. So, moving on. And so as this combat continues in turn 3 for the Orcs here, the assault phase, the screamer's going again. So let's see if they can...
Hitting on 4s.
They actually got 2 hits this time.
Alright, strength 5. Here we go. Nope.
No.
Second one.
Oh!
What's
no.
that?
Oh.
5?
No,
Glance.
It's a glance.
Better than nothing.
And then I've got my 4 attacks back, needing 4s. 3s, right, pardon me.
3s, yeah.
2.
Oh, those swirling little screens.
And, oh, for God's sake.
5
one wound again, so what have we got here?
Yeah!
Oh, God, this carries on with, well, I lost combat, but it doesn't matter. So that is that. So also in this particular phase over here, the killer cannons managed to fight their way out of the hole they were in. And also the boys over here managed to take out those last 2 juggernauts. So a bit better. We'll now see if we can weather the storm that's coming in the next phase for the demons in their turn 3. So at the top of turn 3 for demons, here are the drawn cards. So Blood and Guts, Delight in Despair, and Secured up to 6. Movement wise, as we come around the board here, these blood letters here have pushed on towards this objective here. The Bloodthirsters jumped over to have a look at the cans, because apparently these blood letters are a little bit scared of them at the moment, which is, I suppose, fair enough, because they can't do anything. And I think the rest of everything else has pretty much stayed put, apart from the Plague Bearers. That's about it, really. So that's the movement phase. We'll now move on to psychic and shooting and see what occurs. Okay, and the Orcs' final hour is approaching, I fear, for this psychic and shooting phase has not gone particularly favourably. So over here, these horrors, and I believe, I think there's Fake Weaver put something over here as well.
Fake Weaver did the killer can.
Oh, the killer can, sorry. And but basically, yeah, lots of flame-based projectiles whittled this squad back down to 1, and they ran off. Over here,
They got feel no pain.
oh, okay, we've got feel no pain, just in case we somehow get back in the fight. And over here, the kill cans also unfortunately took a barrage in the rear, and taking out 2 of them fully, and then 1 halfway. So we've got 1 kill can with 1 hull point left. Other than that, we just had a few runs. So I think the Bloodthirster ran, the Bloodletters down here ran, and also I think these ones did as well. Yeah. So that was about it. So we'll now head on over to the assault phase, which I think has got 1 assault at the moment, unless there's any charge, which I can't see happening, which will be this one over here. Okay, and here we are in turn 3 assault for demons. And this combat is still ongoing from turn 1 for demons, obviously. So third round. Let's see what happens. So demons first.
Hitting on 4s.
We have 1 hit.
We might get you. We might get you. No.
And nothing. And then my 4 back. Okay, hit with 3 this time.
That's it. Here it comes.
Now here comes the 1s.
Choose to smush.
1. Unbelievable.
And then the 5 up.
Yeah.
Yay!
I only saved again. This is just, yeah, silly. So that actually concludes the assault phase. So what was scored there? I don't know if you scored any of your objectives. We'll just come over and have a quick look.
Objective 6, which the plague bearers have. So that one's scored.
Got one for that. I have failed a morale check as well.
Not in the assault phase.
But not in the assault phase,
so
no.
Did nothing.
And nothing in blood and gut.
Killed nothing in the assault phase.
No, so just the one there. So that's the end of turn 3 for demons. We're now going to head on into turn 4 for orcs, even though I don't know how I've got that far, but we will see. So let's go on there. Okay, so at the top of turn 4 for orcs, we have an ever-growing list of objectives here that are probably not going to be achieved. So I'm just going to move on to what I've done in my movement phase. So both the planes are flowing over this way, just to have a look at the horrors down here, because they're the only really things they can shoot at. And obviously the killer can in the middle here has moved towards the bloodletters here to try and get an easy scalping, which is the best thing he can do. Obviously the Morkanaut still in combat with the three screams still. Not looking optimistic there on the rounds that they just don't seem to want to fail in vulnerable saves today. So that's the movement phase. We'll head on into the shooting phase and see if we can take off a few horrors. Okay, so turn 4 shooting, and the 2 planes left in the air here have managed to actually do a fair few casualties to the horrors. So this unit here has been whittled down to 2. And down here, whittled down to, I think, 7 left there. 6 there, sorry, 6 left, sorry. You can actually count that on camera if you want as well. So, that is it. Obviously, this unit was shaken, so couldn't actually use its Scorcher. So we're going to head straight on to the assault phase and see if this woeful combat can improve. And whether the killer can left there can actually get into combat. And as we carry on in turn 4 assault for orcs here with this combat, the demons are first. So 3.
4s.
4s, right, pardon me. Okay, traditional 1.
Alright, so 5. Armbane. That's a big penalty.
It's a pen, and let's see what they get on their table. Don't be a 6, don't be a 6.
I think it's 3, maybe 2. Ah! Tension builds.
No, so it's just going to be 1 whole point gone on there.
-1 attack.
And -1 attack, so we're down to 3 attacks. So here come the return attacks. I've got the exact amount I need to do it, hitting on 3s. However, I just can't seem to hit with all of them ever. And let's see if I get my traditional 1.
Yep.
No, we've got 2 wounds.
Oh my god.
Could this be it for the screamers?
5s. Oh,
no, it's 2.
Reroll 1s.
Oh. No, he's definitely lost 2, which means he has lost combat by 2.
I've actually lost combat by 4.
Oh, 4, because
3, sorry, because I got 2 wounds each.
2 wounds each. So now we'll see if he can.
7.
So
7, 6 by 4. If I roll a 5 or more, he's dead because he's got 1 wound
and the
left.
can finally release himself from combat.
Oh,
He did it as well. Unbelievable. Anyway, so that is the end of that particular combat round, and also the end of Orcs turn 4. So at the end of that phase, I managed to, nothing again, sadly. Not really been good. So we'll move on into turn 4 for demons and see what happens. So at the top of turn 4 for demons, we have Security 2, Blood and Guts, Delight and Despair, Security 4, Supremacy, and Psychological Warfare. So quite a few to try and achieve there. So movement-wise, obviously Fate Weaver's done a bit of a 90-degree hook here and come across the board, and is obviously possibly looking at the back end of that flyer. Over here, so these Bloodletters have moved up towards this objective down here, and the Bloodthirster, fearing for his minions, has decided to try and hit the lowly grot in the back there. And obviously over here, a couple little moves, nothing much. So the horrors have moved a little bit, and over here they just moved into the terrain a little bit. So that is the end of the movement phase. We'll now head on into the shooting phase and the psychic phase and see what happens. So during that psychic and shooting phase, Fate Weaver tried his best to take out this particular flyer here. Unfortunately, one of the powers got jinked and the second one got denied. So this flyer is still snap shooting, but he's still alive. A few runs, so you got one. This horror squad has decided to run through the fence here, and that's it. So we'll now head over to the assault phase and see if the last couple of orc units can survive. So here we are in turn 4, Assault for Demons. And again, we're drawn back to this combat once again. We're keeping this one a regular until it resolves itself. So let's see what the Screamer can do.
One mighty attack.
She hits. And he's armor baning on a strength 5.
No. He's
And
rubbish.
4 attacks back. No ones. No, we've hit twice. And twos to wound.
No.
2 actual wounds. Don't roll double 6s again. I will not be happy.
5 6s.
No, he's gone.
He
He's gone.
finally
He's gone. And
No.
we will then do a little consolidate of 6. So he's just going to turn himself around this way because he hasn't got much else as an option to do. So, and I believe that wraps up the assault phase. Other than over here, the Bloodthirster did actually get in Hammer of Wrath, the rear armour of the remaining killer can, and that is blown up. And he is consolidated in this direction, obviously, to come and help the now dead Screamers. So at the end of that phase, I'm not sure how much was scored.
Objective 2 is nope.
No.
Objective 4 is that one under the fake lever.
Yeah.
Right, how many objectives do I hold? 1, 2, 3, 4.
So at the end of that phase there, these are the ones that were scored: Supremacy and a D3 roll of a 6, so obviously 3 points to that. Security 4 was scored, and Blood and Guts. So the deficit for the Orks is looking pretty bad. So that's the end of that phase. We'll now head into Orks turn 5 and just see if they can maybe scalp a couple of units. So let's start with Orks turn 5. Obviously, we've still got the same set of objectives here. So more speed, go faster. Objective 5, more DACA, behind enemy lines, and security 5. I can potentially score one of those, I think, depending on what happens in this particular phase. So let's move on to the movement phase. So movement phase in turn 5 for Orks, and the planes have flown off because they hadn't really got an option to shoot a lot of things. And the Morkanaut here has turned to face off against the Bloodthirster. So I think we'll now move on to the shooting phase and see if he can maybe take off those last couple of wounds. So here we are. We're going to do the shooting phase on camera here because there's only these 2 units really participating here. So we're going to start with the 2 twin link big shooters for the Morkanaut. So here we go. We've got 1 hit so far. Give it that bit of grass. So 1 hit. No, sorry, 2 hits. 2 hits, sorry, pardon me.
That's all you need to kill him.
So here we go. So we start with that.
Strength 5, you need 5s.
1 wound. Come on now.
3 up save. No.
Which is passed. Okay. Mega Blaster. It's a hit.
Uh-oh.
Strength 8 AP 1, I believe. So
2s.
2, so nothing. Then we'll do the overheat for the the blast one. So he's overheated. So see if he takes the whole point. Reroll that. No, he's okay. And then finally we have 2 rockets. 1 hit.
2s.
Nothing. Oh my goodness.
The blood
Terrible.
catches it all.
So that is the end of the shooting phase, and also I can't assault because I'm not in range. So at the end of that phase, I scored a grand total of nothing for my turn. So just so you guys are aware, the Orks have managed to score absolutely 0 so far this game, which is really not too good for me. However, we'll now move on to turn 5 for Demons, which will be our final turn, and we'll see what happens. I just realised that actually I should have taken whole point for that gets hot roll, so because I rolled a 3. So that is now being resolved. So he's down to 1 whole point, and we'll now move on to Demons turn 5. Start of turn 5 for Demons. We've got security to 4, 3, 2, and then hold the line, behind enemy lines, and psychological warfare. So all pretty achievable, bar one of them, I think. During the movement phase over here, there seems to be a Bloodthirster squaring up against the Morkanaut. And in fact, we've just come to spectate this particular sport of his that he's designed.
You knew that would happen.
Yeah, he knew it happened. So he just flew around the board and eventually ended up over here. And then the Horrors just moved up to finalise the demon victory, I suspect. So that is all the movement. We'll now head on into, I suppose, any shooting or psychic phase.
Might as well.
Yeah, and let's see what happens. In the spirit of a good fight, we decided to go straight to the assault phase in this particular one. So I'm going to roll for the charge here. And this could be anticlimactic if a double 1 is rolled. Although you do have fleet, so let's see. We're good. So that's it. We're all in there. And now the question is, what type of attacks will you be using?
I, of course, will be using my big axe of killingness, which
So-
means I'm going last.
Okay, so 4 attacks for the Morkanaut. Hitting on 5s.
Yeah.
Yes, because you're on 9, so this could be bad. We've hit once,
Okay, you can't kill me.
not enough to kill.
2s to win.
2s to win. We've got a 2. AP 1, but obviously demon save.
5 up.
No, he's down on wound, but now it is, can he get his destroyer hit?
Down to 1.
So here.
Right, he's got 6 attacks basic. He's charged.
Yeah.
And that's it. Oh, he's got rage.
And rage, so he's pretty, he's pretty tooled up.
Alright, he's hitting you on 3s. Well, that's not bad.
I think you're all right.
Alright, and then these are all D.
All D weapons.
Wah!
So he's definitely dead.
Yeah, that's quite fair for
Yeah.
you.
So yeah, he's gone. See if he explodes.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So that's a billion penetrating hits.
Yes, I think 3. I think you 3, 4 pens. Sorry.
But no, because it's.
Oh yes, sorry.
It's
Yeah.
millions.
It's millions. Yes.
So these were 6s. So that's 6
Yeah.
each. That's 12. Plus so 17.
So 4 penetrating hits. So if we get any 6s, we have an explosion, which we don't.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's it. So that's it. So yeah, the Bloodthirster got his scalp. I have officially nothing left on the table.
Good game.
It's good fun, though, mate. Good fun. So cheers, to that mate.
Yeah, well done.
With that, thank you very much.
Well done.
And yeah, it was pretty painful for the Orcs in that game, I must admit. However, good fun, and my favourite part was probably the Morkanaut and the Screamers constantly in that battle for the entire game, because it just shouldn't have happened. Any favourite bits for you, Lawrence? Anything that struck out to you that you quite liked and stuff like that? Or?
The Screamers were so bad,
Yeah.
it was very funny. I would have to say MVP to the Screamers.
Yeah. And I must say, the Bloodthirster did pretty well taking out the HQ in the first turn for him. So pretty sweet, really. So yeah, I think we won't bother adding up the scores, because I think we know it's probably well over about 20 to something. I think Lawrence is counting through them quickly. So yeah,
16.
yeah, 16-0. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. So from us here at BlackToad Studio, take care and see you soon.